Mahdi Hashi came to Britain with his family as a 6-year-old, fleeing the civil war in Somalia. He grew up in London in a devout and conservative family. His friends say Hashi was not involved with any radical groups, but when he turned 16, his family says Britain's MI5 Secret Service began pressuring Hashi to become a spy.
They always used to tell him, you either work for us or you are guilty of being a terrorist.
Hashi filed an official complaint, but the family says it persisted. His father, on return from the Hajj pilgrimage in 2011, says he was stopped at the airport by 2 people he says identified themselves as MI5.
And I told them, listen, I'm on your side as a father. I don't want my son to be in danger, and I don't want him to harm anyone. What kind of proof you have against my son? Let's cooperate and work together as a parent. But they never had anything.
Hashi traveled to Egypt and Syria as a teenager, and then in 2010, his family says Hashi returned to Mogadishu. He got married, had a child, and at the end of 2011, he disappeared. Now, last summer, his family received a letter from Britain's Home Office, and I have a copy of that letter here. In it, Mahdi Hashi has been deprived of his citizenship for, quote, extremist activities. Now, there's no date to this letter, but it also makes clear that the information on which this action was based is, quote, not to be made public in the interests of national security. Now, we've asked for more details, but the Home Office has refused to give us any further comment. Then on December 21st, 2012, almost a year after he disappeared, Hashi turned up in a U.S. criminal court in Brooklyn, New York, charged with, quote, material support of a terror organization, Al-Shabaab, in Somalia. He was allegedly training to be a suicide bomber, charges he denies. A statement from the FBI says he was arrested in Africa by local police in August last year and then handed to the FBI. His lawyers allege that Hashi was detained in Djibouti in June. There, he saw cellmates beaten and tortured with electric shocks. He claims he was given a choice in Djibouti: sign a confession or be tortured. His father does not understand how his son ended up in a Brooklyn criminal court.
He has never been to the United States, even for a holiday. And he has never threatened the United States. And we don't know why he was taken all the way there. To us, he's kidnapped.
His U.S. lawyer says Hashi's case is an example of a disturbing new trend, new and improved rendition.
They still take people from foreign countries, bring them into the United States, and they're going to try him here. In my mind, that has long-term ramifications that, if carried out to their logical end, would mean that 20,000 people in Somalia are now eligible to be brought to the United States and tried in a United States court.
Because he is no longer considered a British citizen, Hashi has received no help from the British government. His mother says it has changed the way she thinks of her adopted homeland.
When we came this country, we was the asylum seeker. They say to us they're welcome, but they're welcome now to be hunting for our kids, for our brothers, sisters, fathers, the whole community. It's not only my son.
Mahdi Hashi is now fighting to regain his British citizenship while in a New York detention center. But exactly how he disappeared off the streets of Mogadishu and into a Brooklyn courtroom remains a mystery. Atika Schubert, CNN, London.